You looked down today, maybe in the mirror, maybe just for a second, and something caught your attention, a softness, a layer, something that wasn't there a few years ago, and you told yourself it was age or stress or the way you've been eating. But here's what nobody tells you. Your body is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was built to do. The problem is, it was built for a world that no longer exists. For 99% of human history, your ancestors had zero belly fat. Not because they dieted, not because they exercised, not because they had better willpower or more discipline. They had zero belly fat because the entire world they lived in made storing it nearly impossible. And when you understand why, everything you think you know about your own body changes completely. Go back 200,000 years. Your ancestor wakes up before sunrise. There is no food waiting, no refrigerator, no kitchen, no delivery app. If they eat today, they will have to move to find it. Every single calorie that enters their body will cost them physical effort to obtain. That is the world your metabolism was designed for. A world where food was rare, movement was constant, and rest was a privilege earned through exhaustion. Anthropologist Herman Pontzer spent years studying the Hadza people of Tanzania, one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer populations on Earth. What he found shocked the scientific community. The Hadza walk between 5 and 9 miles every single day, not on a treadmill, not with a fitness tracker, just to live, to find food, to fetch water, to keep up with the group. And yet their total daily energy expenditure is nearly identical to that of a sedentary office worker in a Western country. How is that possible? Because the body adapts. It compensates. When you move more, your body quietly cuts energy spending elsewhere. But the Hadza have something the office worker does not. They almost never eat until they are already in motion. That is the first secret your ancestors carried in their bodies. They never ate from stillness. Food and movement were inseparable. You found the fruit while walking. You caught the animal while running. You dug the root while crouching. Your digestive system, your insulin response, your fat storage signals, all of them evolved to work alongside a body in motion. When you sit still and eat, something goes wrong at a cellular level. The signals get confused. The fat storage switches flip on. Your body was not designed for the couch and the plate to exist in the same moment. But movement is only part of the story. The other part is what they ate. And this is where things get genuinely strange. Your Paleolithic ancestor did not have access to sugar the way you do. A piece of ripe fruit found in season was one of the sweetest things a human being could encounter. And when they found it, their brain lit up with dopamine. Not because sugar is inherently pleasurable, but because sugar meant energy. Energy meant survival. The brain learned over millions of years to reward the pursuit of sweetness, because sweetness was rare and it kept you alive. Today you have access to more concentrated sugar in a single can of soda than your ancestor would have encountered in an entire week of foraging. Your brain still responds to it the same way. It fires dopamine. It says more. It says, do not stop. Because your brain has not been updated, it is still running ancient software in a world it was never built for. Evolutionary biologist Daniel Lieberman at Harvard has studied this mismatch for decades. He calls it evolutionary mismatch. The idea that human bodies are perfectly adapted for an environment that no longer exists. Your fat storage system was a survival tool. When food was abundant, you stored it. When famine came, as it always did, you burned it. The cycle kept your ancestors alive through ice ages, droughts, and long winters. But the famine never comes anymore. The storage phase never ends. And so the fat accumulates, not because something is wrong with you, but because something is right with you for the wrong century. There is a third piece that almost no one talks about. Stress. But not the kind of stress you think. Your ancestor experienced acute stress. Short bursts of genuine physical danger. A predator, a rival group, a sudden storm. Their body would flood with cortisol, the stress hormone. Heart rate spiked, blood sugar rose, muscles tensed, and then the danger passed. The cortisol cleared, the body returned to calm. That was the design. Stress as a short explosive event followed by recovery. You experience something different. You experience chronic stress, low-grade, never-ending, always-present pressure, a deadline, a notification, a bill, a comment, a look. None of these are physically dangerous, but your body cannot tell the difference between a threatening email and a charging predator. It releases cortisol either way, and cortisol, when it stays elevated for days, weeks, months, tells your body to store fat, specifically around your abdomen, specifically around your organs, because that is where your ancient body kept its emergency reserves, close to the core, close to the organs that need it most when things go wrong. Researcher Robert Sapolsky at Stanford has spent his career studying stress in both primates and humans. What he found is that modern humans are unique in their ability to generate a full stress response to things that exist only in their minds, to problems that haven't happened yet, to outcomes they are only imagining. No other animal does this. A zebra does not lie awake worrying about the lion it escaped last Tuesday. You do, and your cortisol levels reflect it. So your ancient ancestor had lean bellies, not because of discipline, but because of design. Their food was hard to get and worth chasing. Their movement was woven into survival itself. Their stress came in bursts and then disappeared completely, and their sleep, uninterrupted by blue light screens, followed the natural arc of darkness, allowing growth hormone to repair the body and regulate appetite through the night. Researcher Matthew Walker, a sleep scientist at UC Berkeley, has shown that even one night of poor sleep raises ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and suppresses leptin, the hormone that tells you are full. After a single bad night, you will eat, on average, 300 additional calories the following day. Not because you chose to, because your hormones demanded it. Your ancient ancestors, sleeping with the sun, experienced none of this interference. Their hunger signals ran clean. Here is what this all means for the body you are living in right now. Your belly fat is not a character flaw. It is a biological record. It is the physical trace of every mismatch between the world your body was designed for and the world you actually live in. Every time you eat without moving, your body records it. Every time stress stays without release, your body records it. Every hour of fractured sleep recorded. Every hit of concentrated sugar recorded. Not as punishment, as preparation for a famine that will never come. And this is where ancient humans have something to teach you that no diet book ever will. They did not think about their bodies. They just lived inside them. They moved because life required movement. They ate because hunger drove them to search. They rested because darkness demanded it. The fitness was a side effect of a life built around real physical engagement with the world. You cannot go back, but you can understand what your body is still waiting for. It is waiting for movement before food, not after. It is waiting for stress that ends, not stress that lingers. It is waiting for darkness and quiet and the long exhale of genuine rest. It is waiting, in some ancient wordless part of itself, for the world it was built to live in. You looked down today, and something caught your attention. Now you know it was not weakness looking back at you. It was 200,000 years of survival, still running, still waiting, still completely convinced that the famine is just around the corner. If this changed the way you see your own body, give this video a like and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And for more fascinating stories about human history, evolution, and the hidden origins of everyday life, subscribe to Curious Origins.